Okay, we have begun. Sound check it here. Sound check it here. Alright, sounds fine. Okay, so for the first part of this stream here, you can watch me struggle trying to get this camera to show up on my OBS. That's the first part of tonight's stream. It's not gonna be a long one. It'll be a short one today. So let's try and get this to show up. USB video? Possibly. That's it. Oh, it wasn't so hard. There we go. Don't think I need to do anything else. Huzzah. So now I can bring this in and get a closer look at stuff. Yeah, that'll work nicely. But first, I have to figure out how to turn on auto focus because I turned it off. So what is this, a D3400 Nikon? D3400 on autofocus. There we go. Okay, that wasn't. There's a clip. We're gonna watch a clip. Autofocus is in custom settings. That's it. On. Okay. Let's go ahead and try it out. So, oh, there we go. So, I need to first of all unplug this for just a minute. There we go. And I have to see the camera menu somehow. I can turn this off. Hey, we got a viewer. Messing around with this camera here. Let's see here. Menu? Yes. It was not as easy as that made it seem. Looking for autofocus. What is it? Custom. Is that in setup? Nope. Shooting. So, alright. Probably in shooting menu. Focus mode. Autofocus area mode. One of these. No. No. Built-in autofocus assist illuminator. Where's the autofocus? Just plain old autofocus. Oh, hey, how you doing, Doug? Nikon cameras generally have an autofocus switch on the left side of the lens and another on the front of the body as well. Alright, left side of the lens. Got an FN and then an arrow, lightning bolt arrow. Not sure that's one of them. Other side. Got an auto feature on the wheel. That could be it. Oh, and then there's this. I don't know. Let's switch back to the camera and see if I can. Yeah, that's not autofocusing. All right. Well, I guess because I don't want this to take forever. This isn't a camera stream. This is a stream about cameras. This is a stream about miniature war games. All right. So we got the camera back up. Oh, there's my underneath my desk here. The wheel sets the exposure mode to auto. Priority, show priority, and other modes. So I do have an auto, and it shows the picture of a camera. I would assume that would be it. But I have to be in the live view here. I'm not sure if it would just autofocus when I actually go to click. Here, let me take a test where I just press the button down a little bit and see what it does. Let me, that might make it autofocus. Let's see. Let's focus on this little building here. No, nothing. All right. Well, for now, this is I was late to the stream and it's impromptu. We'll mess around with the camera, not on stream, I think. I'll just manually focus what needs focusing. So let's get back to. I'll have to do more research. Get the camera right about there. All right. Let's see. I am using. So this is my wife's camera. I'm not much of a camera person. I saw that. Where is it? Oh, a 18 to 55 millimeter. Other than that, it's just I think it's the lens that came with the camera. And my wife bought a telescopic one as well, but I do not need that for showing tiny miniatures. Okay, here we go. So, hobby progress. I completed my board for snow. So, this is where I wanted the camera, this backup camera. So I can kind of show the, I can get almost the whole board in. I'm glad I cut it down to the 3-foot board, which actually ends up being 14 inches. All right, so there's the whole board top down. I got a couple of snow trees I have. Here's a scale mini. Put them in there. Got a couple of hills I made. The next campaign mission is Monster Lair, and the monster is the giant spider. I happen to have 25 millimeters or 32 millimeter spiders that I'm just going to use that straight away, so I don't have to print anything this week on the resin printer. Anyways, I got this. Here, let's bring in the camera here. This is what I need the camera for. So we can switch over to the camera. So let's get better lighting in here. You know what? I didn't turn the room light on. Got every other light but the room light on. So as I said before, I might not be doing any hobbying this stream. I think I'll just show the progress, talk for a moment, and then probably end it tonight. Don't really feel like doing some hobbying tonight. There's an off chance I might paint one small thing. But for now, so we've got. There we go. So now we can focus, but manually. Doesn't want to focus. Oh, there we go. Woohoo! That's much better than the phone. So we got our giant spider. Let's get our scale guy Right now, here, let's use this other hill. This other hill's a little flatter. Hot damn, that's nice. You can see my crappy paint job now. To be fair, this is 15 millimeter, so yeah, it's not great, but it's not that bad for 15 mil. I need another light source. And then here's the giant spider. So it's on a 32 mil. It's like a regular 32 mil base. And just big old spider. A little spiky. I went with the spiky guy. He's still got a few little supports on him. I'll have to nip those off. I don't want to do it with my fingers. I'll break it. Darker background. Yeah, true. It is a snowboard. You're right. It's coming out all right on OBS Studio, like, because that's what I look at. Let me check the stream. See if the stream looks all right. Yeah, it's there. Sorry, I was drifting while I was playing with my computer. Alright, so basically the only reason I have this camera is to do close-ups, so you can actually see some stuff, because I couldn't do that with my phone. And if and when I ever do any more face... Ooh, I'm getting further off here. Any more face stuff where I have to show my face. Well, anyways, there's your spider. It came out pretty good. Just gotta paint them up. Won't be too hard. It's pretty big. Alright, now let's take a look at the board. So, all these hills... Let's pull back. I do my method of snow. So this is 1-inch foam insulation. I scrape a razor blade along the edge. I've done it before on stream, but that stream is long gone. I scrape a razor blade along the edge and it kind of chips off these little bits in random directions. Now I do that on the edge of all my foam boards. I use foam instead of neoprene. I don't like the neoprene. I like to have a 3-dimensional board. So scrape a razor blade flat along the edge, and then we just give it some dry brush. For this I went with like a glacier kind of feel, so it's blue. Got a little bit of an ice feel to it. So that's the edge. There's the board. All the trees are the same trees I used on my very first Camp Raid Bandit mission. Same exact trees, but I just added my snow. And the snow, I think the snow looks pretty good. And it's hard, listen, see if you can hear it. No, it's gonna, here, I'll show you. Yeah, ignore the view. Listen to me knocking on the, that's me knocking on the snow. It's hard as a rock. And the recipe for my snow, the way I do my snow like this, is baking soda, good amount, then pour in white glue, and do a healthy squeeze of cheap white paint. And you want to get it to the consistency where it's hard to explain it because it's kind of like spackle, wall spackle. That's the consistency you're looking for. And then I take my hands, I dip it in the cup, and I just spread it all over the surface that I want snow on. Then I go in with a bigger brush and I stipple it to give it some texture. Then you let it dry, and it's not going anywhere. Even doing that, you're not losing the ridge of the snow. It's rock solid. Like this stuff, if this was flocking, this would all come off, but I'm rubbing my finger right along it and it's not coming off. So that's my snow. And then I take little bits of it and I just spread it over the trees. So I only did 8 trees here. But now the inside hill here, I did the same method on the outside hill, but instead of doing it super glue and baking soda. Yeah, true. I've seen that's handy for like doing bases. I've seen people do it for bases. I've never tried it. The reason I use what I use is because if I want to cover a board with it, it's a lot easier not to use super glue and instead use white glue, so I can just dip my hands in it. But yeah, so I've seen super glue and then a dusting of baking soda. You can do that for sand too, to do like a desert texture. But that's more for bases, I would say. But anyways, here's the, let me focus here. Here is the inner hill. So I got like a bit of a cliff hill. So for that, I did more of a rocky texture, some grays and some browns. And I did two of them, one that kind of bends concave and the other convex, so they can make a bit of a canal. Yeah, so it's super. I'll have to show it. I'll have to make a. I'll do it on the next hobby tutorial I'll do. Not really tutorial, but it's super, super easy. You take XPS foam, whatever size you want to use. I do it on all my boards and all of my rock faces. And it's especially good for doing a mesa. If you can, I'll just show it one day. But anyways, so you just take the razor blade and you put it, I'd say 90-degree angle with the edge of the board, and you just drag it across and it'll chip off bits of it, and you just go back and forth and just run the blade up and down at 90 degrees basically until you're satisfied. So when I make my boards, I mark out my inch or whatever. So I did 36 centimeters. So I marked out 36 centimeters square with a pen, and then I did another about quarter inch or so around it, and then cut the board with that extra quarter inch on each side, and then I just scrape off that quarter inch essentially, and so that way you can still get the board the size you want it. But yeah, I do. It's easy to do. It's very messy, but it's easy to do, and I think it works. It works good enough. Looks pretty good. All right, so that's the board. I think instead of the way I have it set up for the game, it'll probably be. I might do the entrance because it's Monster Lair, so I might have it this little valley-ish, something like that. And the entrance for the warband will be through this little ridge here. And then I can either put the hill here, like so, or I was considering using a ruined house. Put a ruined house down. I haven't painted it yet, but this is City of Torok. I backed that, what, 2019 is like over 2 years ago, or about 2 years ago now, and they're still putting their stuff out. So good on them for not just quitting. But these buildings are great. I didn't do any messing around in Mesh Mixer. I just sized down 50% and it printed out just fine. Yeah, packing foam kind of bricks off a little bit. Yeah, and then the spray paint. Yep. I haven't messed around with it really, spray painting foam, but you can kind of give it a light spray and it sort of melts it in a natural sort of way. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. But here is the building. So nice ruined building. I could say that the spider came in and killed the family that lived here or whatever. Yeah, cover the foam. Yeah, so if you cover the foam in the latex, then it won't melt the foam, as I'm assuming. Kind of like if you cover it in glue, you can sometimes get away with spray painting. So it's either that house. If I do a house, though, I'm gonna want to do a couple of accoutrement, maybe a well or a wagon or something. Just something. It can't just be a house in the middle of nowhere by itself. There has to be something else. So that's been printed and primed. I haven't spray painted it yet. We've got, so there's clue markers. Yeah, see, I haven't tried it out. I've only seen it done on YouTube tutorials. I haven't actually tried out doing spray. I'm always too worried that when I do a nice carving or something, or I put the work into carving my foam up, I don't want to hit it with spray paint and be like, oh, I guess I missed a spot, and have it melt. So I've never actually spray painted my foam. I got the house from City of Torok Kickstarter back in 2000, either 19 or 2000 or 2020. I forget. It's been a long time. They're still putting their stuff out. But this is just one of the ruined versions of a house. This is the cottage slash bakery. But it's a cool, all of their stuff is highly scalable. I didn't have to do anything to the model. It just scaled down. No supports. Everything's supportless. For this, I did a merged version because I'm printing it at 15 mil scale, so it easily fits on the board. But yeah, they're all good. I don't know what the cost of the Kickstarter is afterwards, but City of Turok is definitely some good buildings. All right, and these are going to be my clue markers. I was thinking that so I got them from Thingiverse. They're free from Sable Badger. They're the Rangers of Shadow Deep fly spawn holes, but I think they also work for a spider hole if you blow them up a bit. Let's focus in here. So I printed out. So basically, the mission requires clue markers for me to go around investigating. So I figured I'd use, and you can either find the spider, can be something you find at the clue marker, or you can find treasure, or you can find captives, or whatever. It's part of the Monster Lair mission for 5 leagues. I don't know if I said that, but all this is for 5 leagues. So I was thinking about using these as the tokens for them, which I think might be a good idea. My alternative token, so you only need 3 of them. I got 4 more. Paint them all, but you only need 3. Is another from Sable Badger, has cocoons. Little cocoon markers. I thought those would make decent. Let's see if I can get it focused in. I figured those might make some decent. Yeah, you're not going to be able to see the details on these. So these could also make for some decent investigation markers, or whatever you want to call it. Oh, wait. There we go. I forgot I could zoom way the hell in with this. Yeah, so no detail because of the black model, white background, I think. So, but they look like a little cocoon. So those are my options. I'm either going to go, and then I also have the treasure chest, but I don't think I'll use that. It doesn't really make sense. So I'll be either painting up cocoon markers, will be quick to paint up. And if I do these little mud holes, these little spider holes, I'll make a little bit of my snow and just put it around it. And also possibly pull some cotton and just drag it across the holes. And then give a dab of white glue to keep it in place. So that is the board so far. Oh, and another cool thing about this board is this is the other side. So I think... Was it Saturday? I think this last Saturday when I played my mission, I played on the reverse of this board. So I do all my boards reverse. So one side is here. We can switch out now. Let's go back to the main camera. Oops, let's get it up there. Okay, nope. Main camera. There we go. All right, back to the main camera. So I can actually put this away. Don't need this anymore. I can also switch back over to the better microphone. Well, I don't know if it's better, but it's easier on me. This also right here. Mics, dropping mics all over. Here. Alrighty, so I can plug my main microphone back in. You probably don't hear me all that well, I'm not sure. My new microphone that I opened up on stream the other day. And we need to mute this. And unmute this. We can get this back over. Should be able to hear me now. This was like a $20 microphone I bought. I think it's great. It comes with its own boom arm. So I can put it in front of me. I don't have the thing attached to my lapel. I don't have a lapel, but... Verizon? No, it's not Verizon. It was some cheapo FDUCE. It was 20 bucks. And it comes with all, it comes with a pop filter, comes with a boom arm. It's USB plug-in play. And it was all for 20 bucks. So I thought that was a heck of a deal. Especially for someone like me. I get one viewer maybe, you know. Oh. I'm not hip. I'm a lonely old. I'm not lonely actually. It's too much going on in this house. I'm a lonely old nerd. No. All right. Anyways, let's go ahead and flip the board so you can see what I'm talking about here. So some of these are 2-inch. So this was a piece of 2-inch foam. Just makes for a bigger hill. At the scale I'm at, 2-inch foam is the equivalent of what? 5-inch hill, maybe more. Because I'm basically a centimeter equals an inch at the scale I'm playing. So yeah, 2-inch foam would be about 5-inch hill. All right, and so one side of the board, the other side of the board is partial snow. And I think I played the mission on this side of the board. And that goes for my other board too. Let me get it. What did I do with it? Oh, it's over here. So my cavern board is one side was the cavern board and the other side was a grassy bit of a board. And this grass texture is the same thing I do with the snow, except I squeezed in brown paint and then painted green over it. And at 15 mil scale, it's good enough. And I don't need to use flocking. I don't ever have to worry about it breaking off. It's rock solid. So that's that. This can get put away. So with these boards, I've covered. Yeah, they're pretty cool. I like these boards that I make. I'm covering I got caverns, and if I do dungeon tiles, I'll use that cavern board as well to just lay the tiles on. I've got partially snowy. I got no snow, partial snow, and full snow for any kind of foresty area. So the next board I'm going to make... Yeah, DBA. I have the book for DBA, or DBM, I think. I haven't actually played it. I get into a game in my head for about a couple weeks. I'll buy all the stuff, but I don't have any opponents to play against, so it usually gets pushed to the side. So when I got into 5 leagues, it doesn't require an opponent, so I actually stuck with it. But yeah, I do have DBM. I also have, what else do I have? Black Powder. I bought the 2nd edition book recently. I was going to do some Civil War stuff, but that didn't pan out. So mostly because 5 leagues and 5 parsecs turned out to be really good for me. Really fun game for me. So probably stick with those for now. So that's that. The next board I'll do is a swamp board, probably. I might do a swamp and or a... so a little bit of the snow comes off. I'll do a swamp with the reverse being a desert, maybe. I haven't quite decided. And then... I can't really think of any other... Yeah, I did browse the rules, but I learned by doing, so if I was to actually start getting into DBM, I'd print off my couple of armies, 2 armies, and then I'd have to play games against myself, and that's how I'd learn the rules. But that's pretty much how I learn all rules. Alright, so I got a couple additional buildings. So this is a stringy nightmare. I had recently had issues with my printer, this printer that printed this, with some under extrusion and terrible stringing. which I don't know if it's showing up. Yeah, it kind of shows up there. You can see it's everywhere. So I was having issues with the printer, just tearing it out here. Under extruding and stringing. So I replaced the nozzle, replaced the tubing. Did something, I don't know what else I did. I basically did some maintenance on it. And again, it printed like this, and I don't know why. It's not my extrusion settings because I have I print FDM and I print resin. I usually do FDM on my terrain because I'd rather not print terrain and resin. In case I drop it, it doesn't break if it's an FDM. Resin, if I drop the piece, it'll probably snap. But I mean, the Ender 3s are. I mean, this was what 0.12. I don't have the camera. I shouldn't have done it. But 0.12 at 15 mil scale, it just doesn't look too bad. If I get some paint on it and a good coat of spray paint like I did on the other building, it doesn't look bad at all. And it comes out. These windows all came out. Those little small window grates that you can see right here and over here, they came out just fine. And that's a pretty small detail. Yeah, so I generally do terrain and FDM. This is another City of Torok ruin building. It's a mess, but it's depends on you just basically got to tune in your settings a little bit. I also found that I switched all my hot ends over to all metal. I didn't buy the expensive ones. I bought the knockoff ones. The $30 ones, not the $60 ones. And they work pretty good. I forget the name of the Gulf Coast Robotics. Those are the all metals I bought. Yeah, and they work pretty well. They help, they're supposed to help with stringing, but this clearly is an issue I have to fix. But yeah, there's another. Yeah, and it's at this point you can get an Ender 3 for what? 180? I haven't even looked recently. I have 4 of them, so over the last 2 years I've managed to gather 4 FDMs, all Ender 3s. Well, 2 Ender 3s and 2 Ender 3 Pros. Then I had bought an Anycubic Photon for my first resin printer. Hated it. Things kept going wrong. Ended up having to sell it because they couldn't help me because their customer service was garbage. So I'll never buy Anycubic again, personally. I sold it to a friend and used the money to upgrade to a Frozen Sonic Mini, which was an excellent little printer. And I was sticking with that for a while, but then I quit smoking about a year ago, pretty close to today. It's a little over a year, so I quit smoking last April and decided that if I maintained not smoking, I was going to get myself something. So I ended up buying a Mars or Elegoo Saturn. Yeah, I like it. So I bought the Elegoo Saturn, and I am a big fan of Elegoo now. They have excellent printers. If I was ever to suggest a printer to someone, it would be an Elegoo at this point. Their resin's good and their printers are good. Yeah, for sure. Elegoo's good. I wish I had bought the Mars instead of the Sonic Mini. Because I do have a few issues with the Sonic Mini here and there. But so far, that Saturn has been just non-stop successful print after successful print. Even with user errors, I get awesome prints out of that thing. Alright, so there's that building. Just something I wanted to print because I had an open printer. Oh, I have 4 FDM printers. 3 of them have been down for weeks. I haven't messed with them. I finally decided to fix up 2 of them last night. The other one I gotta pull apart the motherboard and do some soldering. I might do that on stream actually, but that won't be for a while. But I finally put it together, so I just needed something to print. So I printed off another one of the City of Torok ruins, and also I'm gonna print off a bunch of these Ulfheim. Anybody who's been 3D printing wargaming stuff probably knows of Terrain for Print. We've got a ton of free stuff on Thingiverse. It's all good. I really like his stuff. But I was going to do all of his Ulfheim. It's a hobby. Yeah, yeah, it definitely is. If you have, I would suggest just sticking with one printer for a while. If you do, I stuck with one printer for a while and it was great. And then you'll get the bug and you'll end up getting more, I'm sure. But yeah, it's a bit of a curve, and it's a hobby in and of itself. I'm still not even that great at getting good FDM prints. I could definitely do it better, but I haven't put the time into it. I get them to working order, and then when an issue comes up, I resolve the issue, and that's about all I do. I haven't really fine tuned my printers. But anyway, so I'm gonna print a bunch of the Ulvheim stuff, and they comes ruined and not ruined. This is one of the not ruined buildings. So I'm gonna print a bunch of this stuff and do my delve out of it, because there's that destroyed city of Doldhelm in my world. That was my delve. So I'm gonna make the delve just very different streets of this stone city, this abandoned stone city. So I'll probably go Ulvheim for that. Also, that'll double as a good 15 mil Mordheim board if I ever want to do it, which I'll eventually do 15 mil Mordheim. Why not? Do 15 mil everything now. I caught the 15 mil bug. All right, so that's my hobby progress for now. I don't think I did anything else. I got the board pretty much set. If I want, I can just paint up a couple of these spider marker here's. These interesting location markers, and I should be good to go. And the spider, I gotta paint up the spider. So minimum work would be painting those up. I may also paint up the building. Haven't quite decided yet. I can get this done in an hour, probably. Maybe a little bit more if I spend some time on the spider. So that's not too bad. I still have to catch up on my narrative writing. I haven't written the narrative for the last campaign turn in battle, and the one before that. I have to write them for both of them. I can't think of anything else. Yeah, nothing else to update hobby-wise. So, made the foam board, cut up some foam hills, put some snow on them. That's about all I did. That's about all I needed to do. This week was easy for prep because it was the monster lair, and it's one model. So, and then the other hobby report would be repairing the FDM printers, but I didn't really stream any of that or do anything for that. So yeah, so my streams, I'm so far been pretty regular. I do my Wednesday night is my hobby update. I do it at 9. It can go between an hour to 3 hours. Tonight's going to be a little less than an hour. What I'll do is I'll show what I've done so far, and then I'll do a project on the stream. So I'll paint something, or I'll carve a board up, or whatever I'm doing for that particular week's game. And then Saturday at 9, I'll start my campaign battle. So the way it works is the week before, I'll play out a battle on the stream, and then I'll do all the post-game stuff, and then I'll play out the campaign turns until I arrive at the next battle. So that'll happen at the end of the stream. So at the beginning, it's the battle from the previous stream, and at the end of the stream, it's the campaign turns till I get to whatever battle's coming up next. So then all week, I'm prepping for that battle. Wednesday, I show my progress. I'll do whatever I need to do on stream towards that progress. So if I was going to do something tonight, I'd probably painting up these objective markers. And then the beginning of the next stream, I will do the narrative for everything that's happened, and then play the battle, and then again roll up. So that's kind of my my schedule, if you will, my kind of my groove. So if you're interested in looking or watching the game, now I'll be honest, if I were coming across this, I wouldn't watch this stuff. It's kind of dull. It's me rolling some dice and moving some minis around. It's all right to pop in, chat for a minute, check it out, and then, leave. It's not the most interesting stuff. What I will eventually do is edit down some of the videos for YouTube. I've just dumped these streams on YouTube, but I'll eventually edit them down because they're like 4-hour streams. But hold on. Give me a second here. All right, wife wanted to talk. Yeah, so yeah, pop in and just see how I do. I would suggest if you're interested, I would suggest watching an older stream, and that way you can skip, you can skip around and you don't have to wait the full 4 hours to see how it all goes. You can start it up and see how I start the stream, how I start the campaign turns, blah blah. Do the mission. You can watch some of the mission, a couple of rounds of the mission, and then you can skip over to the end. Oh, okay. Well, cool. So you see what I do. So yeah, so this week will be the Monster Lair mission, which was a contract that I got from local clergy in the town I'm in. And the contract was to kill the giant spider. And that's what I'll do. So I'll start the next stream. I should have all my narratives written up, hopefully. Get all my narratives written up. I'll read off all the narratives of what's going on. Play the battle. Do post-game. Do the next few campaign turns. And then start hobbying for the next game. Alright, well, I'm going to call it there. Wife wants to chat. I wasn't really going to do anything else tonight anyways. More of just an update of what I've done or what to expect on the next stream. You've seen the board. So we're going to be doing snow. So there'll be heavy snowfall. Clearly, there'll be heavy snowfall before the next mission. But yeah, so hey, hope to see you there too. Thanks for chatting with me, Doug. Usually people don't chat, so I appreciate it. It's good to not talk to myself for a while, for once. So appreciate it. And yeah, hopefully I'll see whoever shows up on Saturday. Take it easy.